attention. And genuinely, some of the most fucked up people in the world. Not that he was a bad person, but honestly, views on relationships, on women, and all of that completely warped. Completely warped. No value, no respect, no. And they don't realize this, but that's a lack of self-respect. Even you being with that many people means you don't respect yourself, sir. And that's on that.
Well, I mean, well, for us guys, this is a very interesting double standard we have, right, as men. But I think that in my life, I have my set of experiences. I've had quite the fun, but I think that there's always been something that was inherent to my initial education, which was the understanding that whatever it is that I would get involved in would always have to be based on respect. Don't lie about your intentions. Let it be known exactly what it is that you can do or cannot do, what you can, give pretty much. And this way you give the person a chance. Sometimes you might be not clear enough, so that person might not get the memo. But at the end of the day, you learn from your mistake. And as you said, there's something very true. When there's this calling that comes upon you, no matter how busted the roads you had to take to get there have been, when you get there, that calling literally comes in as a shock and reminds you, hey, my man, my sister, wake the fuck up. Enough of the nonsense now. Yeah, you had your time, you had fun, it was nice, it was cool. Yeah, cool. Now get in line.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, yeah. And it makes sense. Like, honestly, I, for example, for a long time felt like polygamy was actually a way. I was like, shit, why not? It's not no, it's being polyamorous, right? That's the elegant and romantic way to the word. And I was like, and honestly, for a while, I really believed in that, and I felt like, you know what, why not? But then when I understood what was the root of why I was thinking that was okay, then I was like, yeah, there's nothing okay about it, because that's not what my parents did anyway. So that's not an example I necessarily have in my bringing. And secondly, my motivations are rooted in pain and in the fact that I was heartbroken. And therefore, I wanted to avoid to be heartbroken again. So I was like, let me have multiple partners or multiple, whatever it could be. It was mostly sexual anyway. But let me have multiple distractions so that if one doesn't work, then okay, I have another one. But there's no substance. As you said about the paper, the metaphor of the paper and the glue, you're losing your substance after every sexual intercourse, and it's like, yo, yeah, I mean, yeah, you slept with all these guys, you slept with all these girls. Yeah, you might be, you might know how to get down in bed, but did you know that not all the pussies are the same and not all the dick are the same? Like, let's be real for a second. Like, just because you have 100 or whatever it is, doesn't mean you will know how to handle me, because I'm a whole being, I'm a whole human, I'm made not only of flesh, but I'm made of spirit. So if you're not able to tap into those two worlds, it's not going to work. And to close what I was saying, what I'm saying is I came to that profound understanding that I no longer want to associate and mix myself up with anything that's not serving my level of frequency. And if it's just to have fun, having fun, it's fine. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather do it myself. In other words, and it's like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Because you better because this mix of energy. Yes, so I hear a lot of women say that. However, this is something you might pick on that maybe, but I can't do these things. I don't know how to please myself. I need to go and do that. I need to have a partner. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I have friends that I've heard say that, like, no, you know what? I just need sex, girl. It's been years that I haven't, like, if I can do it, so can you. I feel like this is the thing that people have convinced themselves that I need it. You don't need it. You do not need it. especially if it's from the wrong person. The level of damage it can do will slow every other area of your life down. Because you are heartbroken over somebody who is not right for you, now you're not studying correctly. Now you're not doing your job correctly. Now you're not even taking care of yourself correctly anymore, because you don't even have the energy, because your energy is drained into trying to figure out how to get this person to commit to you or like you or any of that. And it's like, honestly, you will save yourself a lot of heartache by just taking care of your damn self. Go get a vibrator and live your life. Okay?
Amen. Hello. Well, simply put, yes, indeed. I mean, I could not agree more. And I think that whenever I try to get this message, are you mad? How can you be suggesting me this? I'm like, you think I'm mad by suggesting what you just said, get a vibrator? Because you think that it's better for you to get somebody's. Oh my God. I'm like, but it's very difficult to get that message across when you're dealing with people who have no sense of spirituality whatsoever.
No,
And I'm not even talking
exactly.
about you don't have to believe in God. You just have to understand that you're not just made of flesh, bro. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You are
There's more to you
infinitely
than that.
amazing. You are, this me, and I believe you, and we are a reflection of the divine, right? So if you are a reflection of the divine, you're a reflection of something that is greater than yourself, right? Because there is indeed something greater than yourself. That is why there's always a higher calling. That is why you always hear this voice that tells you, don't do this, don't do that. Then when you realize when you don't listen, shit goes wrong.
Every time.
And it's like, why don't you understand? And especially as a woman, and this is where I really like what you said about this new generation being messed up by all the videos. I'm like, look, Kim Kardashian, Beyonce, J-Lo, everyone, those women have done what they were doing within the context of a video clip. They don't carry their life every day like that. They don't whap it. Come on, man. I mean, look, they make, and even if they do, they make millions out of it. But your ass ain't making shit except getting screenshots and likes. Oh, but yeah, you're right. Likes are better than, putting food on the table, right?
It's honestly the weirdest thing that we want to become something that these celebrities aren't even themselves. And even like, I look at artists maybe like Beyonce. Beyonce's been doing this for a long time, and even when Beyonce does sexy or speaks about certain things, she does it with a certain amount of decorum. It's the
Yeah.
new wave where I look at like City Girls, Meg The Stallion, Cardi B, all these new American rappers that are coming out, Miss Mulatto, all of these girls, beautiful girls, very talented girls, but the message is always the same. This nigga wants my pussy. I make my own money, but I also spend his. I can get whatever guy I want. Like, I'm a boss ass bitch. But they mix it all together with being empowered and strong and a feminist, and it gives the wrong message across. Like, if you want to be a strong, empowered woman, you need to be able to control men with your pussy, and you give the best head, and your pussy is the wettest. And I'm just kind of like, girl, what is going on? Like, what? No. And the truth is, men are very sneaky about this, because they're not under the comments saying, I would never marry a girl who says this. They're like, yes, ooh, sexy. The first ones to watch it, but they will not settle with a girl like that. And girls are like, well, I don't care because this is who I am. It's not even who you are. You're being conditioned to be like that.
Exactly, it's a conditioning. And before we continue, Emmanuel just said something. So vibrator is better than two-person making love, and she says, I don't think so. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying that you actually said the word making love, not just fucking.
Yes, there's a big difference. If you're making love with someone, then yes, obviously that is way better than a vibrator by far. By far.
She
But
says
we're
the
talking
vibrator
about
for
people.
foreplay.
Yes, but honestly, you would rather just stick to foreplay than get yourself into a whole heartache tangle situation. Like, guys, I don't think people realize the power that it gives you to be able to control yourself in those situations, especially for men. And I've read a lot about this, weirdly, but it's even to the point that boxers do not have sex for weeks before their match, because they know how empowering it is to keep holding that in. Like, there is a certain amount of power in being able to not just give it up. because I need it. You're gaining control, self-control. If you can control that, especially as a man, no woman can control you. This is why men, and I don't want to speak and offend any men, but in general, men have made women be a bit more modest. Don't dress like this. Don't dress like this. Don't dress like that, because otherwise men can't help themselves. No. How about you guys learn to strengthen your ability to not just give in as soon as something looks attractive. The difference is men are very visual and women are very auditive. That's why as soon as you see a hot woman, you give it. As soon as a man tells you the right words, you give it. Let's learn to, balance that stuff.
But okay, I like where that you went there. Now, here we go. J'arrive sur toi. Attends, prépare-toi, la chicotte arrive. So, you're saying that you need to control. My darling. Hey, woman. Let's go now. Let's go. I was having this conversation with my mother this weekend.
Okay.
And we were talking about, how unfortunate it is that women find themselves in situations where they can't even be safe, around men if they are dressed a certain way or do certain things a certain way. Okay, look, there's always exceptions and there's always nuances in most things, right? So basically, I understand very well what you're saying, and you're right, by all accounts, that anyone who is put in a situation where they could be tempted needs to control themselves. That's true. And then there's a thing where they say, well, mothers should raise their sons better. But that's very much unfair for a lot of mothers who raise their sons very well. This is a personal choice, and this is an incapacity of a man to control themselves.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that you can place on mothers. I don't think any mom is ever teaching their son to disrespect women.
I don't think that mothers teach their son to disrespect women, but I think that some moms have a tendency to overprotect and make their sons feel like the most amazing thing in the world, which is cool ultimately, but not at a certain point. There's got to be accountability,
Because that's what he'll expect from the woman that he gets with. That's genuinely what he's expecting from her.
Because some women are even ready to cover up for their sons for the fuckery they're doing because it's this, and then I get it. But now the point I'm trying to make about what you said, when it comes to controlling yourself, there's also an over sexualization, and there's this sentiment in my opinion where it's like now on Instagram it's completely okay to flash your body. Aesthetic ways of doing that, and there's plenty of women that do that very, very well, and it's not bothering anybody, and it doesn't bother me. What bothers me, however, is when you ostentiously put yourself in a situation where you clearly are looking for the clickbait, you clearly are looking for that attention, even though that's not what you're doing. It's probably your own artistical expression, whatever it is that you feel. But unfortunately, it's that attention that is the wrong attention that you're calling upon yourself. Whereas when you walk on the street, because that guy saw you wearing that, whatever you had on or whatever it is that you wear, and thinks that, since she's showing it so easily on the socials, God, I can get her in my bed because I got the money or because I got the yacht or just because I want to. So I think the responsibility here is, of course, men need to definitely be responsible and understand that it is not okay to put yourself in a situation where you have to literally pressure a woman into doing something that she didn't want to do in the first place. But also understanding that, man, you gotta read the environment you're in. I mean, you can't walk, even though Dubai is super open, I dare you to try to walk naked on the streets. You're gonna get lynched or something's gonna fucking happen to you. Don't be fooled. So, but some people don't know how to read environments. And this is what I think people need to be taught. You need to know when a woman or a man is giving you a signal that they're interested, and when you're actually not, when you're not reading things well. You need to, what I mean? Some people just don't have social, they don't have social literacy, I have to say. I think that's what's lacking. It feels like it's okay to just be me, and you know what? Fuck it, because that's what I am, and I'm a bad bitch, and you know what? And yeah, like, the next thing you know, non, mais le prochain truc que tu vas voir, c'est qu'après le gars il dit ah donc quoi? Et puis comme there's a lot of guys that are filled with egos, I'm a man, come here. And you know, for example, as Africans, we play a lot with this. We have this weird conflict. Ah, petite vieille ici. Oh, mais laisse-moi, non. And sometimes it starts like oh, mais attends, mais je suis pas comme ça, moi, d'abord. Ah, oh, mais toi aussi, je suis là pour toi. Next thing you know, papa. Ah, no, that's not what I wanted. Ah, but ma chérie, tu faisais quoi? What were you doing? What did you expect? Ah, he's a pig, he's a monster. But my dear, read the environment you're in. If you find yourself on a yacht and it's 10 girls and 3-4 guys, what do you think this is?
No, but to be very honest with you, I agree with that. I feel like it's unfortunate, but a lot of women put themselves in positions that they don't really actually want to be in the name of being somewhere cool with these cool people. Some people are into things that you're not into. And the truth is, there's a certain limit in terms of how you dress, that it needs to be what you're comfortable with. But as women, you know that certain outfits will cause certain people to stare or certain people to look. And sometimes, though, this is where I feel like there's a fine line with this, because yes, there's some women that is gone overboard with how they choose to dress and how they choose to express their freedom as a woman, because now it's fuck it, I'm me, I can wear what I want, that has nothing to do with you, I'm an individual. But I think there's also it's a fine line, because what about the women who, like for me, for example, my body shape is just a particular body shape, so it doesn't matter sometimes what I wear, that it looks a little bit different. And if a girl who had no shape wore it, it wouldn't be a problem. That's Absolutely. Where it's like, why can I not wear the same outfit as this person next to me, but I just don't get the same attention? It's frustrating and infuriating when you're...
I feel you.
Honestly, it's stressful. But like,
I know. I feel you, girl. Hello.
But genuinely, it's a true thing. Like, I know that in the beginning of my career, when I just moved to London, I really, really, really struggled, because my managers and my team would want me to go places, to meet people, and I didn't want to go. I hated the attention, because it wasn't the attention I wanted. I wanted people to take me seriously, to listen to my music, to consider me as an artist and somebody who had a mind and things to say. But it gets very quickly overshadowed by, oh, you've got a bum, or oh, you look like this, or you look like that. And it's very frustrating as a woman sometimes.